wise and elevate. No more police, we no bond, picking, navigate. Now it's the time for love, not hate. It's not time to separate. The youth be unite and live real.
And they expect the population to sit back, kick back and just relax, burn down. Good boy, you're the connection. Presenting positive messages. And they expect the population to sit back.
All right, now, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the Q&A here with Jimmy. You guys have a couple questions. Any artists that are out there that haven't had a chance to get onto New England Jams, make sure you email. All right, not playing around. So I got a couple questions for you.
All right.
All right. So El Queasy, he wanted to know, what is the most effective way to build an audience for a new artist?
For a new artist to build an audience is, the best way to is go to showcases. I know sometimes you got to pay for it and stuff, but that's the way you get known, by the A&Rs, and along with that, more than that, the promoters of the place. Because if you're nasty, they're going to bring you back and pay you to come through. And second of all, in order for you to also get noticed, obviously, social media. That's like the #1 thing right now. But you know, just for presence, for people to see, like someone like me, you could have millions of views, and I'll check you out. But then I really want to go check you out and see how you do, your draw, your crowd, how your movement is, who you're coming with, who you're rolling with. Are you rolling dolo, or you got a team? You know, all that matters if you have a movement or not. You know.
Absolutely. Many times you'll go to a concert and you'll find out that there's no audience there for them.
Exactly.
And yeah, they're great on social media, which is the drive.
Because
like
a lot of
you said.
people buy stuff on social media so they can be up there.
We've got the next question for you. And this one is coming from Livelette. He is a conscious reggae singer. What are the best sites and avenues for promoting music? And how can one go about getting a video on those sites or channels?
Right now in this era, it's kind of weird. Music has changed. Not a lot of people like conscious music, which is so weird. For my era, it's all about conscious. If you say some garbage, people are like, what? Right now, it's just about the hooks and dances, it seems like. For a reggae artist, you know, I manage Junior Reed, so I've seen Junior Reed struggle too because he's a conscious artist. Like, people love when Junior talks about murder this, murder that on hip-hop songs, when he really talks about like One Blood and like the conscious stuff that's out, people kind of fall from it, like the younger cats. So it's a little tricky on the reggae scene compared to the hip-hop scene. You know, hip-hop scene is kind of like, I think, easier than the reggae scene. Because reggae scene is hard to break in, because if you're not known as a main person in the reggae scene, you're not really going to break into it.
Absolutely.
Compared to the hip-hop scene, you could be a young guy coming out with some money backing you and you're popping. But reggae, you have to get that respect in the game. You don't want to just put your music into like anywhere, like, you know, like MTV.com, BET.com, that's great and everything. You know, especially if you get interviews from like Jack Miller and different things. But more than that is, you got to spend money to get to where you are. And if you're going to spend money to get your placement on videos for shows, TV shows and stuff, make sure you're putting in the right one. As a reggae artist, you're not going to put it into Hip Hop DX, because to them, they're going to be like, okay, that's cool.
Not their crowd.
You want to put it into your crowd, like Reggae Reflection and stuff. Like, you want to put it into the sites that's going to actually touch your crowd. Like, you got to get your money together, because you can't just do one video and say, oh, I put all my chips into this, and then your next video comes like 6 months later, or your next single, and then you're already starting fresh. If you look at all these artists that's popping, they're all over the radio because they're paying for the radio, but they're staying relevant. They're coming hits after hits after hits after hits after hits, because the money they make, they're throwing it right back into music. Some artists, with the money they make, they spend it on themselves. Oh, I'm getting a nice whip. Oh, I'm getting all these fly clothes. The real artists, when they make that money and flip it right back into their marketing.
Absolutely.
Right back into their next video, their songs, until they keep doing it and doing it until they get bigger shows, and then they can start flossing. But that's what differentiates the big people from the small people. The bigger minds and the small minds. Investments and non-investment. Long-term, short-term.
Absolutely. And one thing that I want to make sure we do, not on this episode, but maybe on the next one, is talk with you about how musicians can in fact invest in other businesses.
Oh, of course. Musicians.
We'll talk about it on the next one.
Okay.
You guys make sure you're staying tuned for that. So
that's huge.
That's huge. Mariah, we actually got a chance to get her question on record.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and let you take a look at her asking the question for you.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, before you work with someone, do your research. Find out what they're doing, what they're about. Talk to their people around them. You know, make sure they got a good name. They didn't burn anyone. Because streets talk, especially in this game. The industry is really small, so everyone knows each other. So if you mess up, everyone's gonna know about it. If you mess up on the show, you beat someone, everyone's gonna know about it. Now it's up to you to deal with that person or whatever, you know, because you're a grown person. And second of all, when you work with someone and things aren't going right, don't blame everything on that person because it's your career. It's not really that person's career. That person's career is to put people on. And they got over 100,000 people reaching out at them. So if they're working with you,
and you being one of them,
yeah. Let's say I'm working with someone, but someone's giving me a lot of problems. Just little things like yep. Oh, why not here? Da, 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 da. That's not really gonna help me to push you, because I got other guys and other girls that's hungry, that's doing it. Like, hey, I'm on the newspaper. Hey, I'm on this. Hey, I'm on this.
They push what they are doing.
Something like that I see that I'm like, oh, I could invest in that. I could throw some money here and there where I know it's gonna go somewhere. Compared to someone that's like, I got all the talent in the world. I should be next. I should be blown up. I should be on TV. I should be this. I'm the best. If you are the best in everything, why aren't you there already?
Absolutely.
Right? And to find the right people to give things to that's not gonna burn you, you can't necessarily say that no one's gonna burn you because everyone has a different meaning of being burned.
That's true.
Like I could work with someone and I could put my money towards it and actually get this thing moving, but then that person could have another idea where I don't feel comfortable, where I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. That doesn't even seem right. I mean, why would you go that way when the blueprint's right here? So when that happens, then I'm like, damn, we're just gonna waste money, wasting time. Then I fall back. Then they can say I burnt them. Well, I'm pretty sure no one will say that about me yet.
No one's saying that about Jimmy
Not yet,
Kang,
not
no.
yet. So I got a good day so far, but no, but it happens a lot in the industry because I meet a lot of artists and that I manage and stuff, and they'll be like, oh, my last record label burnt me. My last manager sucked and didn't do anything. And then I look at their BDS, how many spins they're getting. I look at their sound scan, see how many they sold. And then I look at it like, damn, you only sold like 1,000 like units. Like, who's gonna invest in you? Second of all, the label dropped you because you didn't sell enough. They didn't burn you, and they didn't market you because you didn't market yourself. Once you start marketing yourself and you get the buzz, the label will get behind it. If you don't have a buzz, the label's not gonna push you because there's no point unless they have an objective to make money off you short term.
Absolutely.
No.
And for you, Mariah, I know we had a discussion about you having your own independent music, but you're doing a lot of cover music also. Like Jimmy's saying, you have to be able to sell your product so that you can make money and reinvest that. So that's one thing I want to let you know. You should really put a lot of attention and focus into, and any of you artists out there, make sure you're selling your music.
Yes, and Mariah, if you have a big support group with your family and friends and everything, have to start coming to all your shows, merchandising, have your fans wear your t-shirts, brand yourself like Nike did, like Def Jam, Wu-Tang, everyone. It's about the branding. So Mariah, you have to brand yourself before you can even take off. So when anyone says Mariah in New England, they just say Mariah, they're like, who, Mariah? Oh, isn't she the same? Oh, I know, I heard about her. That's how you know you're clicking. If you say your name, you don't even have to say your last name. If you say your first name, they should already be like, oh, I know this person. I think that's her. Da, 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 da.
Exactly.
And once you get that buzz, then you get a whole team around you. You can't blow up by yourself. You have to have a team. You have to have a support group. Everyone that's supporting you, like you said, give them a position. Have one of them be your manager, have one of them be your promoter, have one of them be your social media person, have one of them be your merchandising person, have one of them be your street group, Give them jobs and then have them find people under them to push you.
Absolutely.
And that's how you're going to get known and blown up.
Wait for them to find you. That's a very good point.
And it's not all about business. You have to have personal relationships. It's who you know and what you know.
I absolutely agree.
You have to have both. You have to know too, because a lot of people are like, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Nah, it's like it's who you know, but once you get to that person, you better know, because if you don't know, they're gonna be going to the person that recommended you to be like, yo, why'd you give this bozo? Like Sean Price would say, why'd you put this bozo next to me? You know?
And speaking of musicians, Mike Favada, his question. I wanted to make sure for every episode we actually had a musician in there. As a musician in a computer-driven generation, how do I stay relevant?
All right, with the computer-driven revolution, stay relevant right now is very important, and it's kind of like, it's like a double whammy, right? Because back in the days you had true followers, but now you could buy followers.
That's true.
And if you don't buy followers nowadays as an artist, even superstars and all them, they all buy plays. They all buy spots. And if you don't think that you have to buy spots to blow up, you're absolutely wrong. Even Jay-Z, 2 Chainz, all them, they have social media people that sit there every day working on everything. If someone puts bad comments, they have someone erase it right off the bat.
So Mike, you might want to go ahead and look into investing some money into promoting yourself.
The best way to promote yourself is, you're right now is a social media.
And I'm going to piggyback a question for you also. Because he is a guitar player, he mostly works or is comfortable with a band. Mike, I didn't say this to you, but I really think it's time for you to maybe step away from your band and do your own thing.
Well, this is what you do, Mike. You stay with your band and have your band thing, but on the side, what you should start doing is playing guitar on different tracks, producing some songs, talking with engineers, going to all the studios and asking the studio engineers like, hey, if anyone needs a guitar player on one of their tracks, let me know so I can get on. Because Mike, once you do that, your name's everywhere. People will be like, wow, this guitar riff is crazy, and they're gonna be like, yeah, this kid Mike. And you get to be this icon of a guitar player for all these producers and all these artists that needs a guitar riff or whatever they need, little strings or something on their production. And on top of that, you do a sound, you do a split, so you're getting paid off publishing, performance rights, everything. And that's the most important things a lot of people forget about, is getting their splits and getting that on paper. Because some people, they'll just do it and the song blows up and it's too late for them. Because a label already picked it up and they're like, too late.
Yeah. Make sure you got your contracts in order. So I want to thank you.
I want to thank you too, Britannia.
And where can people find you? What are they supposed to be tuning into and listening to regularly now?
You can check out Woo World Radio on your iPhone, your Android, any phone. Woo World Radio, it's an application. You can check out wooworld.com. You can check me out, or you could Instagram me, Facebook me, Twitter me at Jimmy Kang, Jimmy Kang 1. Hit me up.
Thank you. All right.
And catch me every month with this beautiful lady right here.
You all are tuned into New England Jams, and make sure you reach out to any of the artists that are on here. Make sure you're watching, make sure you subscribe, make sure you find out more about Jimmy. If you have any questions, if you want to get on, make sure you email newenglandjams@gmail.com. And
make sure to support Britannia, and people like her is the one that's gonna make this community and this world happen around us with the hip hop, rock, reggae, any type of music. Someone like her is someone you guys all need and appreciate, because not a lot of people are doing things like this to help your careers out.
absolutely. Oh, and let's not forget exclusives here in Worcester. They are having in-store events. They are allowing artists to actually come here, hop on the stage.
Yes, we got a runway, we got a DJ booth, we got speakers. We made it so we could do in-store signings. We already have artists come through like Capadonna, Spliff Star, Ricky Blaze. Different people always coming through to do in-stores.
All right.
We talked about that.
We'll talk to you guys later. Deuces. Peace.
Peace.